watch IPL. Now listen, this is going to be a two-way conversation. It's not going to be a monologue. I am not going to be the one who's going to keep speaking for 45 minutes also. I want you to at least respond. It's not initiate. Not initiate. It's okay, that's fine, that's fine. Can we begin with the slides? I'll just jump to business immediately. Now, before we begin, just a minute. I just want to know, I want to have a brief classification of the crowd that we have here. How many of you intend to take up finance or have already chosen finance as a stream of specialization? So why is the three of you? Marketing, if I may know. Minority kind of. And HR. So marketing and HR almost together. What's written over there? No? You need the resolution to be increased. Well, anyway guys, those are the formalities that I have tried to fulfill. My real aim was to come and have a word with you guys because what I speak is what matters a lot rather than what's written out there. Although there is correlation between what I'm going to speak and what's written, but I believe you should be paying attention to what I'm saying. Now, the first reason for me to be over here, I have come to make you guys look at from the perspective of a potential employer or rather a recruiter. I need to be viewed as a potential recruiter, And this is the only way you'll be able to comprehend what I'm saying right now and gauge the gravity of what's going on around. Okay? So we'll just begin. That's the first slide. Okay. The title says the employability quotient. Now, how many of you are from the fourth semester and the second semester? So all of you are from? You are the mixed lot, I guess. Yes. Right? Either way, everything over here is applicable to everybody. Alright? Not an issue, absolutely not an issue. The life is a bit heavy on me. Okay. So, my coming here, thank you so much. Now the reason I am over here is to make you guys understand what the reality is. Alright? Do not think that I am here to derail or demean you in any way, because that's not the purpose of my visit here. The real reason for my visit over here is to make you aware as to where you stand, where potential recruiters like me want you to be, and the gap between them. We'll also discuss the ways to overcome those gaps if time permits. Alright? But as much as planning is important, the execution or implementation part of it is equally important. Alright? You got to look at things with these perspectives in your mind. Now, the first slide says your plan. That is, you see, who is the lady? No, it's a guy. A guy on a cycle. Keep the goalpost over it. The first slide refers to you guys. Okay? Because this is what most of you guys have made of your juniors to be. MBA कर रहे हैं, हो जाएगा, कुछ लग जाएगा, बात खत्म. Alright? And as you drop down the second slide, the universe's plans for you. And what does that indicate over there? Can anyone tell me what that picture means? Can anyone summarize what that second picture means? I told you this is not going to be a monologue. I am not the only person who is going to be speaking. I need you people to at least respond. Initiation, preferred and appreciated also. Okay, can someone condense what's happening in the second picture of the universe's plans for you? Yeah, please, you can pass the mic. So guys, you just need to hold on patience, okay? Because I am here for you. You may find it very irritating right now because some of you must have been busy making plans. But half an hour spent here is going to be worth it. Trust me, anyone who is going to absorb what I am about to say here today is going to go a long way. Alright? So just bear with me for about, say, 45 minutes more. So quickly, can someone tell me what's the message of the second picture?
It's all about there are many hurdles for your success. The success path is not so easy. You have to undergo many obstacles, face it, and then you will get success.
Brilliant, brilliant. Absolutely. Can I have a round of applause for her? What's her name? Pardon me? Okay, Shraddha. How is it? Right. She's given a, a rather brilliant answer. A good one than that. But what I was looking for is, the first place shows that you've made plans of your own without having any sense of, backing. You do not have any material or, intellectual based facts or properties to back what you are, dreaming of. And the second slide says that I've written two statements over there, The first one is go to fail to plan to fail. Okay? And the second one that goes to it, don't dream of success, work for it. Implying that the path towards success is not very easy. Not everybody is born speaker. Not everybody is a born artist. Not everyone can dance, spontaneously. But then when you are in this stream of, this stream of life, I would call it, there are certain things that all of you want to have, without which you are going to drown. Take it to me, in writing, without these skills, all of you are going to drown. And just imagine that you spend close to 2.5 years and a few lakhs, say 3 odd lakhs, trying to get this degree. And then just imagine if it turns out that it's no good, all of you are doomed. Alright? So that's the reason I told you that I'm not here to intimidate you or look down upon you. I am only here to make you aware of what the needs of the industries are today. So times are changing very rapidly, trust me. Alright? So the condensed statement for this entire slide was that those who fail to plan to fail, definitely. And just don't dream about success. Some of you, you have wide dreams. This and that. Good. It's good to have dreams, but it's equally important, as I told you, to implement. Okay. So you just need to understand the gravity of the situation here, and the sooner you try to have a course correction, the better for you. That's all I can say. Okay. Aman, good night. Aman, coming around. You can do the resolution. Now, this particular slide deals with the changing nature of work. Can anyone tell me how businesses have tended to change over, say, last few decades, say from 70s, 80s to the businesses that we see today? Anybody? Yes? Gentlemen? You can be seated, but you can just pass on the mic if possible.
Globalization.
Pardon me?
Globalization. Globalization.
Globalization. Alright. Okay. Anyone else? But can you just elaborate what you meant when you said globalization? And that's right in a way. But can you just tell me how things have changed then and how things are now? This is important because I need to put things from your perspective. That's the reason I'm asking, do you know the difference as to how work culture has evolved over decades now? Quick, if not, I'll just get the answer. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to attempt? You've already given me the answers over there. All you just go to the answer over there. I've given a few words over there, and that's the answer I'm looking for. All I want is to elaborate on the point that I've mentioned here. Yes? Anybody? Please feel free to pull the mic from person who is not speaking.
So it's okay, I'm audible.
Pardon? Yes, sure, go ahead.
So now we can see online marketing. So before there was no online marketing.
Brilliant. Guys, please put your hands together. This was a very good attempt. This is what I was looking. I'll elaborate what you just said. Yes, gentlemen, you want to speak? The person at the end? Fair enough. But I just put, everything that you guys wanted to say in a perspective. Now, before I come there, I'll give you a brief background of what I am or what I did. I am an engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I hold a master's degree in marketing and finance. I am working as a manager in the company AEL, the component product-based company, and I'm a sales and marketing guy throughout. I've worked in project management. I've worked with project finance, but all in all, I'm a sales and marketing at Go. Now, having said that, now what I meant by changes in work is there are three factors that will be, or rather three ways of looking at it. The first thing, changing customers. As what's your name? Yes, you. Sanmati. Okay, as Shivaji put it, that would be pertaining to the second part of it, the changing channels. So we'll discuss that one later. But changing customers. Now the customer today is breathing fire. He is on your case 24/7. Now what I meant by changing customer is because of changes in channels and connectivity, your customer is connected to you 24/7, whether you like it or not. Companies that go a step ahead in catering to all those whims and fancies of the customer tend to end up earning a few $1 billion more. And those who don't simply perish out. So by changing customer trends, this is what as future managers you ought to understand. Your customers right now are the potential companies that you look forward to work with. Okay? The companies are changing because their customers are changing. Okay? And that is what I meant by changing customers. The second aspect of it, as Shiva rightly said, changing channels. You have 24/7 connectivity. You have customers who will stop SMSing you and maybe WhatsApping you. Maybe some will go ahead of that and would Skype you 24/7 irrespective of where you are. So this kind of connectivity has changed the way workers need to adapt themselves into the third part of it. Now changing workers means that the demands out of workers are increasing. Your potential employers want you to have many skills all packed in one. They want a multitasking robot of kind, if you prefer to say that. But the bottom line is, companies are looking to reduce costs, and how do they reduce costs? By hiring a multi-faceted personality. Okay, and good at speaking, even if not, he's good at analytics, good enough, fair enough. He's good at composing mails or marketing brochures or literature, fair enough. Companies tend to absorb such people. Now, you people are with the impression, यार job नहीं मिल रहा है. There is recession. You try to, wherever possible, you give all the explanations. They are not. I don't know what you do. So then the general perception is, यार jobs नहीं है, मिल नहीं रहे. And from a recruiter's point of view, that is me, someone like me, who would require people working under me. And then I'm also hired there. What I see is, I get 200 applications. Out of them, maybe 10 manage to make it to the table, face to face. And of those 10, if I'm lucky, I end up hiring one. If I'm unlucky, I wrap up the individual qualitatively. And there is a mismatch. Because you guys are simply not built for it. If you have to make the cut, there are n number of skills that you need to incorporate. I really don't know how many of you are able to understand or rather appreciate what I'm saying right now. A few months out of here, you'll still have the fresher's tag, and a few more months after that, you're expired. Date part. So don't let that happen to you. There's still time. Skills are transferable. You can learn them, provided you take the first step of dedication. You need to realize where you stand, what is lacking, and how you need to overcome those things. Now, these top desirable skills, as you can see, they are fairly common and they are not to everybody. There's nothing new that I've put in. But this is just a precursor to the second slide that I'm about to show. That's expert. It could be anything. Any subject. But what is it that distinguishes you, the special you from the crowd? I, as a recruiter, would like to recruit a person who is at least able to speak. He may talk gibberish, he may have a relative low IQ, low technical knowledge, if you call that. But I'm okay hiring a person who is able to keep his audience attached to the seat for 10 minutes. Why? Because, always remember, from the employer's point of view, if the aim of his organization is to climb a tree, I would rather hire a squirrel rather than train a horse. Okay? So if the aim of my organization is to climb a tree, I would rather hire squirrels than train horses. So you ought to be those squirrels rather than those bulky horses which are no use to today's organizations that want to grow and expand rapidly. They want prepared candidates, and MBA is supposed to do that. You know? I gained few skills of mine over time on the job. I had a few core competencies which I leveraged initially to chart a course, so that I could, eventually end up somewhere. But all said and done, I am done now. You are yet to enter that rat race, and it's a tough word out. Trust me. I have no issues if you want to spend your time and money, go ahead. But what bothers me is that you guys have absolutely no plan for your future. And that's a very dangerous trend. It's a very dangerous scenario. You have such wonderful resources, you have now, you have wonderful libraries, you have a lot of resources at your disposal, but then you simply don't want to use it. And the worst part is you have paid for it. You have paid for it, and yet you do not want to use those kind of resources which will actually help you grow. So this is, lethargian thought. I feel pity when I see him tell me एक MBA का degree लेना है. This is the attitude towards life. You want to suffer. Take it in writing. You want to suffer. Now I'm not here to criticize you as I told you again and again. But then you ought to understand the ground reality. You have to accept your flaws and simultaneously start working towards improving those flaws for your own future, not for me, but for your own. Okay. Now, as I written over here, good English, well spoken, well written, will open more doors than polished people. Bad English will slam doors. There's a mistake already. That to be used your hard there. I wanted someone to point that out to me, but sadly no one did. That means all of you are sleeping. Is it also? You have such a end of it. Bad English with slam doors you didn't even know existed. Now there are so many opportunities out there. The fact that you are not qualified enough to participate in that boom is your matter, and you need to work on improving that, because that is what employers of tomorrow and today require. Okay, scoring marks is one aspect of it. You ought to score good marks. It's not that you need to have bad skills. You ought to have good marks, fine, fair enough. But then you have to justify those marks in the interview. Someone who says that if you have 75, 80, 90, 95, something like that, will not be in a position to answer basic questions, which you guys ought to have anticipated earlier on. Alright? Now how that can be done? Great opportunities ahead. Now you ought to focus on your soft skills. Soft skills is, as I told you, the ability to address a large gathering, maybe a single person or hundreds like you, and speak in a sensible, rational way. This is good communication. Now most of you will tend to lose out on the job opportunities because you are not qualified, at least on this front. I will not be dealing with the technical part of it here because I assume that you guys are paying attention to what's happening around, and you are updated with what's happening around. So assuming that you are technically sound, what is left out is the lack of soft skills. It's going to cost you very heavy, trust me. You have time, get hold of someone good and start, but at least start. You have quite some time left, even now. Say 6 months, sir? Now, sir? Around 6 months?
No, the fourth semester will be out I think in the next 3 months, and second semester of course
So that reduces your span to 3 months, which is a difficult task, but not an impossible one. Definitely not.
I would just like to add that I think we have around 40% of them who have already been placed, so that is a good news for us.
Oh, great. A round of applause, guys. That's absolutely fantastic. Then the rest of the 60% need to be even more alert now. Alarm bells are ringing. So also you have a scheme there, these guys ought to know what's going on. in the world of business, or how aware are these guys with respect to the current events?
I think we try and communicate those things through classroom discussions.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of other activities which are given to them as a part of this, making the people industry ready.
Right.
And we invite resource persons like yourself
Right.
to come and make the students aware as to what are the lacunae that
Right.
they need to bridge.
Absolutely.
So that is what we are trying to do here, and that is what again. So again, but we need advice from you as in how do we
Absolutely.
improve ourselves further, and that is why you are here.
Absolutely. But then guys, I'll ask this question once again. How many of you are very confident of, facing interview if it is to be conducted by a Fortune 500 company? Be honest. If you think you are capable or qualified enough, say so. Just your hands? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, I see your hand. एक दूसरे से देख के. Even if you do not raise your hand here, it isn't going to make much of a difference. And if you raise your hand over here, it would have made like of a difference. You got questions to yourself. I am here because I want students of this institute to grow. Your first step is being placed immediately after completion of your course. But that's not an easy task. Trust me. Spend more time thinking about it. Spend even more time on thinking of reaching those steps.
I think most of, I would not like to ask anything, but I would like to tell that, of course, the scenario which you painted here was is right according to whatever industry perspective you have. But I believe having interacted with my students, most of them are already working on that. Of course, they might not see as you can, you know that many people are very, very shy sometimes to come out and speak. But I can assure you that many of them are very bright minds and they are already working on themselves. Okay, so that I can assure, right guys?
But Rahul sir, I was not thoroughly disappointed. In material of what the other guys are going to, say after I leave. But I'm happy that you have at least 2 students of yours who are doing quite well. I'm quite happy that your students are showing promise. So thank you guys for your patience. You can, curse me as much as you want after I leave. I have no issues with that. But for people who have taken something from my visit here, I want you to work on that, for a bright future. Otherwise, you'll be left crying. Nothing else. Okay? Thank you so much for your time and patience. Rahul sir, it was a lovely crowd. Very shy crowd, but that's fine.